Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
Donalds. McCarthy.
That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Hi, my name is Reese Waters and I'm troubled. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. I'm just playing, I ain't troubled. It's a momentous occasion. It's a celebration because Byron Donalds finally got his buttered biscuits.
Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
One of the smart ones, huh? That's a new one because generally he goes with,
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about?
and it's also a step up for Byron Donalds because generally they just give him the head pat.
Donalds. McCarthy.
That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
But one of the smart ones. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I might give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe if he hadn't routinely mentioned black jobs.
Who's gonna tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Or constantly question Kamala Harris's intelligence while he's off ranting about bacon.
The truth is they're trying to get out of it because she doesn't want to debate. She's not a good debater. She's not a smart person.
Meanwhile,
you take a look at bacon and some of these products, and some people don't eat bacon anymore. And we are going to get the energy prices down. When we get energy down, you know, this was caused by their horrible energy wind. They want wind all over the place. But when it doesn't blow, we have a little problem.
Or wondered if America was ready for a black winner of a business competition. Well, that makes sense because all the way back in the 1950s, America might not have been ready for a black, huh? Oh, it was the 60s? The 70s then? The 80s? Wait, it was the 90s? Is America ready in the 2000s? The 2010s? This happened in the 2010s?
I've never known Mr. Trump to be comfortable around black people. I think he might be comfortable around a certain sliver of black people, a certain type of black people, but I've never known him to be comfortable in our general company. I remember when I was on The Apprentice, there was always this stilted interaction between us where he couldn't quite figure me out. I was that, unicorn Negro, and I'm trying to figure out, how do I interact with this guy? Do I dap him up? Do I talk about sports? Do I, refer to his Wall Street experience? He can never quite figure out my background and where I fit in. And so I've never known him to have comfort around anyone who's not just in his small box.
Well, you earned it, Byron Donalds, after months of repeating the same lies.
So if Mr. Trump feels so strongly that Milwaukee is a horrible city, why is he having his convention there?
Well, two things. First of all, when you bring these comments up, please bring them in context. I'm glad that you mentioned what the campaign said afterwards, but I noticed that your network and a lot of the press are not doing that. With respect to Milwaukee, he was talking about allegations of voter fraud and also the crime rate. And I think it's important for people to understand your murder rate may be down, but that doesn't mean that violent crime, etc., are also lower. Those are two different pieces of crime. Obviously, murder is the most heinous of them all.
Byron Donalds, which one is it? Which one is it? You tried to just outright lie and say it had to do with election fraud, but you just had to throw in the crime, didn't you? You just had to throw in the crime. So when people say that another city is a horrible city, why do they say such a thing? Typically got to do with crime, right? Oh no, he's not saying it was horrible. It's just the election stuff. And also the crime. Really? reinventing history.
You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together. That's right. During Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative, because black people are always a bit conservative-minded, but more black people voted conservatively. And then H.E.W., Lyndon Johnson, and then you go down that road, and now we are where we are.
And ruining your name in the community.
The owner of Rocky's Barbershop in Atlanta says he feels he was misled by a campaign event for former President Trump.
I thought it was like something real private.
It was anything but. Rocky, along with black business owners from across metro Atlanta, crammed into his shop, along with Trump surrogates.
But hold on, Wesley. Hold on, Wesley. My brother, hold on. Calm down, though. My man.
Speech. It looks like the people want you to say a few words.
I was in New York last night, and I'm sitting down in the studio, and they say, Congressman, we want to play you the first clip of Kamala's interview on CNN. And so, of course, I'm like, sure, let's see it. I'm interested. And I watched the clip. And in my mind, I'm thinking, we waited 40 days for that?
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
See, actually, no, you didn't wait 40 days for that, because that was a clip. Actually, you said that yourself, that it was just a clip. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly you thought a clip was.
I was in New York last night.
Also, touche on avoiding Atlanta by multiple states. Way to give yourself a lot of buffer.
You don't forget about where you're from. Don't paint the picture. Don't tell us that we can't educate our kids.
It took her 40 days to come out and demonstrate to the American people that she hasn't changed. She said it herself. Her values haven't changed. They are the same values that will take away your purchasing power. They are the same values that will shut down fracking in Western Pennsylvania.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Okay, now that we've established that you don't know what a clip is, later in the interview, she actually addresses that exact thing directly. Like, I don't know if you thought a clip was like an entire hour condensed into 30 seconds, but I'm wondering what the education system is like down in Florida. Actually, I'm not wondering. I know exactly how trash it is.
They are the same values that leave our southern border wide open. They are the same values that have our adversaries emboldened. And there is only one person who can stop her and save America.
Apparently that man is whoever edited the clip. Because again, those are all things that she addresses. This did not age well, Byron. You might actually lose your biscuits at the end of this.
Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. That one is smart.
You know, the Wall Street Journal editorial board, continuing from those quotes we read before, the vice president got away for the most part with repeating her campaign's platitudes. That's a shame, because the voters still haven't received a straight answer about whether and how she has changed her views from the far left positions she espoused in 2019.
Oh yeah, the Wall Street Journal can get some smoke too. Okay, so she repeated her platitudes as opposed to contradicting them? As opposed to contradicting the things that she has previously said. And then you want to double down on that and say that the American public hasn't received an answer on her consistency after you say that she repeated the things that she has said previously. What is reading comprehension in this country? They just as bad as Fox News. They think their readers are idiots.
She didn't have any specifics, and Dana Bash gave her an opportunity to provide specifics, but she sidestepped them all. And the reason why is because she has the same policy visions and values she had in 2019, but now she has to hide them from the American people.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Oh, you mean like these kind of specifics?
prices, in particular for groceries, are still too high. The American people know it, I know it, which is why my agenda includes what we need to do to bring down the price of groceries. For example, dealing with an issue like price gouging, what we need to do to extend the child tax credit to help young families be able to take care of their children in their most formative years, what we need to do to bring down the cost of housing. My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000 for first-time home buyers.
Are those the kind of specifics that you're looking for?
Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
That's why she didn't look confident in her answers. This is why she was looking at the table more than she was looking at the camera or Dana Bash, because I do not believe, and I think if people watch it, they will pretty much see she doesn't believe what she's saying.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Ooh, big mistake, Byron. Big mistake. Okay, so apparently she was looking at the table and not looking at Dana Bash, and you're questioning her body language and then saying if people watch it. Well, if people watch it, they will see this.
The voters are really eager to hear what your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and in an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation, and I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
So you don't also want to say that people should watch it, because the only way that your words will be received with any legitimacy is if, in fact, people do not watch it.
She's just trying to get elected, but the country needs leadership. It does not need fake pandering.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Oh, fake pandering. Oh, you mean like, I don't know, a fake Jamaican accent? When Bisa Hall met fellow Florida A&M University freshman Byron Donalds on campus in 1996, she believed the future congressman and Donald Trump VP shortlister was from another country. Quote, he told me he was from Jamaica and he had a Jamaican accent and he was cute. Then the next time I saw him, the Jamaican accent was gone and he said he was from New York. Now, a lot of us like to reinvent ourselves when we decide to go to college or just when we go out of town in general. But a whole accent that you clearly weren't very committed to. I mean, what, you thought you would just give it 2 weeks?
Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. That one is smart.
Is that the kind of fake pandering you talking about? Yeah.
I think what Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are doing is the absolute right approach. Because she hides from the media and because, frankly, her campaign hides her from the media, because we saw last night she's not very good at this, they are flooding the zone, pushing their message relentlessly.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Did you just accuse her of hiding from the media while responding to an interview she gave to the media? Is that what just happened?
Demonstrating the fact that Kamala Harris is the current vice president. In that interview last night, she tried to deflect back to when she was a prosecutor. That was almost a decade ago, more than that. She's in the vice presidency's seat right now. She lives at the Naval Observatory today. What has she done?
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, so let me try and understand this. So what she's done as vice president is relevant, but what she did prior to becoming vice president is not relevant. And also what she's saying she wants to do and what she's saying she feels now is also not relevant. So her statements today are not relevant, and her whole life history up until 2020 is not relevant. Only the time that she's vice president is relevant. Good luck with that.
Forget all of things that she said. People, go back and watch her body language. When she talked about her niece, she's looking at Dana Bash. She's smiling. She looks relaxed. But when you ask her about her policies and the flip-flopping, she's looking down. She's looking small. She doesn't look like she has confidence in what she's saying because she doesn't believe it. She's trying to remember what they coached her to say. That is not the leadership our country needs in this pressing hour. We need Donald J. Trump.
Look at my African American over here.
Here we go again with the body language. Bruh, man. They gonna take his biscuits. They really gonna take his I'm concerned for Byron. I really am concerned for Byron. I can think of one specific clip that you might want to watch talking about her body language.
He said last month, he suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
Same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. That one is smart.
But I'd go back to just the body language. I didn't see the lively starlet Kamala Harris from the DNC convention. I saw somebody that didn't look comfortable in their own skin answering questions from Dana Bash, who's about as friendly as a reporter as you're going to get.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I also see somebody who's uncomfortable in his own skin answering questions. Yeah, I also concur. Speaking of the starlet Kamala Harris, oh, you mean the Kamala Harris who was attacked for laughing?
What do you want to know?
Jesse, I know that you are a student of human behavior, and I've been dying to ask you all day what you thought about the fact that, I mean, that's a question I think she should have anticipated, but what does the laughing indicate?
The cackle is a defense mechanism, and it's used to buy time and to create comfort when there's no comfort that actually exists. She is kind of I am an expert in human behavior, except I know nothing about myself.
You mean the Kamala Harris who's attacked because she had joy? That's the one that you wanted, huh?
Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. That one is smart.
Look, I think with Kamala Harris, this campaign is set up to try to be above politics. That's why they're not talking to reporters. That's why they're really not engaging with anybody.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Does he know that he is responding to an interview? Is he aware? Does he know how time works? We gonna need a federal investigation into these Florida schools. It's bad.
That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good.
But the support that they've been able to amass, it's very broad, it's real, but it's thin because there's no substance to it. It's about feelings.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Oh, it's about feelings, kind of like this idea of being replaced in America and trying to preserve, patriotism and trying to make sure that America looks the way that it's always looked, as opposed to, do those billionaire tax breaks actually come at my expense? You mean those kind of specifics in that kind of substance? Despite the fact that not only would he consider me beneath somebody that would ever even go to Mar-a-Lago, and by all means would certainly never come to my home, if I was fortunate enough to get a job working for him, he wouldn't pay me. You mean that kind of feelings over substance? Is that what you mean?
Byron Donalds, Florida.
It's about whether you like Donald Trump or not. It's about thinking that you can just move forward in this abstract way without the concrete ideas you need to propel our nation forward.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about?
You mean like these kind of concrete ideas?
No water in your faucets. You ever try buying a new home and you turn on, they have restrictors in there. You want to wash your hair? Or you want to wash your hands? You turn on the water and it goes drip, drip. The soap, you can't get it off your hair. So you keep it running for about 10 times longer. You're trying. The worst is your hair. I have this beautiful, luxuriant hair. And I put stuff on. I put it in. Lather. I like lots of lather because I like it to come out extremely dry because it seems to be slightly thicker that way. And I lather up, and then you turn on this crazy shower, and the thing drip, drip. I just say, I'm going to be here for 45 minutes. They put restrictors, and they put them on in places like here where there's so much water you don't know what to do with it. You know, it's called rain. It rains a lot in certain places. But no, their idea, you know, did you see the other day? They just put, I opened it up, and they closed it again. I opened it, they closed it. Washing machines to wash your dishes. There's a problem. They don't want you to have any water. They want no water.
Is this kind of concrete ideas to propel our nation forward that you're looking for?
Byron Donalds, Florida.
This is not good, Byron. I mean, it was not a good time. It was not a good time for this to happen after you just had gotten your bit. Here they come. Oh, Byron. So you want the good news or the bad news? You want the good news or the bad? Okay, so the good news is they didn't come and take your buttered biscuits for coming out here and embarrassing yourself talking about Kamala Harris. You get to keep your buttered biscuits. The bad news, they took your drink. Yeah, they took your drink. Yeah, you gonna have to eat all them buttered biscuits with no drink. I think they trying to take you out. Sincere thanks to everybody who's reached out to me and submitted suggestions for videos. Keep them coming. I take submissions for ideas for a video, suggestions for Racist of the Week. If you have something that just troubles you, or you just want to send me a note, because I love getting those notes, go ahead and shoot me an email at reese@reesewaters.com. I also have a newsletter that I send out periodically, so you'll be receiving that as well. You can also sign up on my website, reesewaters.com.